Get to know the babes behind the brand as they talk business, women supporting women, and share what it's really like to work in the fashion industry.
Welcome back. I'm Donni Ray, founder and creative director of Privilege. Wow, I almost got it.
Yeah, you are.
Hey, it's Katie, inventory manager and queen of miscellaneous tasks.
Yes, and it's Leah here, operations manager.
You guys did good.
You did good too.
Thank you.
I thought you were going to say live from LA.
Live from LA, it's our boozy breakfast podcast.
Yeah.
We're sipping literally the most delicious mimosas.
Well, we're diving right into it, but that was actually going to be my boss.
Well, there you go. We should get to our guest first, but
We'll
I'm
get
just
to our
like
guest
teasing.
first.
Like it's like fresh squeezed orange.
It is really
Mine's-
amazing.
Mine's at an awkwardly low level.
Oh, well,
I'm sure that could be remedied.
we'll
Too low
fix
for
this.
photos. Must recharge.
Let's recharge. Okay, let's enter our guest. What started as a passionate side biz from her job as a marketing director for an IT company quickly turned into a full-time bustling letterpress business. Today, Chez Gagné's offerings range from greeting cards and wine and spirit tags to office goods, drinkware, candles, and art. Welcome, Alex Gagné from Chez Gagné.
Thanks, guys. So happy to be here.
So glad to have you. We love, the conversation that we've been having so far is really good, so I'm pretty excited for what we're going to get into here.
Agreed. It's going to be pretty baller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
like definitely don't not like you right now.
Well, that's a positive.
I think that's a double negative.
Yeah. I'm gonna put double negatives this morning.
Donnie, kick us off with your boss or bust.
Okay. It has come to my attention that people are sick and tired of hearing about the fact that my nanny's been gone for 10 weeks.
Things
Oh,
your
no.
sister can say to you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Apparently
okay,
some
fair.
listeners are like, I just want her nanny to come back so she stops talking about it. Laura's back, okay? And I'm not using that as my boss babe crush, but there's also something that goes in tandem with that. I've been trying to sponsor her granddaughter to come into the country as like a gift to their family, kind of.
That's
because
amazing.
It started, but also since I started, that was 5 years ago, I started the process.
It's so long.
Wow.
So long, and since that, then I've had 2 more children. So now I actually need a full-time nanny.
Yeah.
Laura's getting a little bit older, and so the intention changed to hiring her, and I got exit clearance today.
Yay.
It's been a 5-year journey for me, and I'm booking her flight. Like, I was literally booking it this morning, and
That's
she's
the best
coming
news.
tomorrow.
That's incredible.
That's the best
so
news.
I feel like it's a boss.
You know
and
what?
I'm pretty
I'll be impressed if she actually gets here because the rules and regulation they're making you follow to get her here are crazy.
I'm not sure anyone else would have persisted through it. It's been a wild journey. I don't
that's a
think anyone
lot.
expected it to
5
actually happen.
years.
Even at the very
Wow.
end, they're like, she needs a direct flight. Just a direct flight from the Philippines.
And tomorrow.
what?
So I'm just like,
yes.
it's been because her visa, which I started the process 5 years ago, expires next week.
Oh my God.
So she has to come now, or if she doesn't, then I have to start the process all over again.
Oh,
It
Lord,
has
no.
been-
Crazy.
There have been so many twists and turns, and it's just been there's been a lot of changes to the regulatory process of immigration and this whole process. So
It's like you're halfway through one process, then it changes. No wonder
well,
it's taken
Canada
so long.
changed, and so that bumped me back. Then I started, and then I got approval from Canada, and then the Philippines changed their laws, and they said, okay,
Oh, man.
boom, I had final approval, and they said, actually, you have to be 23 to leave, and she was 22 at the time. So it was like a whole other year we had to wait. And it was just I just really got unlucky in the whole process. But I feel like I'm proud that I stuck through the whole thing, because at the end of the day, bigger than the job that I'm giving her, she has the opportunity to come create a life for herself.
Totally.
And for she's got a lot of family up here, and they get to be together. And I just think it's pretty special and cool.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm excited to meet this girl and
That's
kinda,
amazing.
start the relationship. So
I'm
That's a
excited
good
to
moment.
meet
That
her.
is so cool.
yeah, I have her
go,
on
girl.
Instagram, and she is kind of cute and posts outfit photos, and she's young.
I want to get her into driving school.
I'd like to teach her how to cook keto. Just kidding.
Maybe she's my new best friend.
She's
I
going
don't
to
know.
do a lot of celery juice. Yeah, she
Yes,
gets here.
she's me juicing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Katie, what's your boss or bust?
Aren't we on? Are we on Boss or Bust? Or Boss Babe Crush?
What
I'm
day
so
is it?
confused.
We're on boss or bust.
Okay,
I'll help you run through this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going to I don't know if it's a boss or a bus. I'm super frustrated. I'm super tired right now. Riley's really sick again. I spent like the better portion of the evening last night on the balcony with her because
Coughed
all night. She got that croup cough, and they say that like fresh air is like the best remedy for it.
Yeah,
so
it's better than the AC.
We literally went outside at 1 a.m. and like I was like laying on the deck trying to like get her to like go to bed out there, and like she's so frustrated. And I just like you could even notice at dinner last night, like I was so agitated by her. So it's like I woke up this morning and I told Donni, I'm like, oh, I kind of have mom guilt about how I dealt with it last night. Like super frustrated. So
it's hard to
That's
like
hard.
withhold that when it's something is like getting to your like nervous system. Like I took her outside at one point and she coughed. So I played a game. I was like, let's just count the coughs because I could tell she couldn't stop.
Yeah.
We counted over 100.
Oh my God.
Like she just like, it was just a relentless cough. Like poor girl.
But it got to the point she woke up last night and she's like, I can't breathe. And she literally couldn't get a breath of air. And I was like on my hands and knees and I'm looking at her like, do I need to call 911? Because when you say something like that.
She's
like,
also a little girl, so she's a little bit dramatic.
But it really,
Totally.
like, if you were there, you would have freaked out last night too. Like, she
Yeah.
literally couldn't get a breath.
How
And
were you close to waking me up?
I was this close to calling. I was like, let's go out onto the balcony. If that doesn't work, like, I'm calling, like, 911.
she
We're
might
going to
need
go to the
oxygen.
hospital and get help
that's
for
so
it.
hard.
Well, thank God for that. Can I throw out a boss for you?
What?
We were all at dinner last night. Went to a team dinner. And the little ones, Caitlin and Hunter, really wanted to hit the town last night. And they were trying to like be pushers and get us old bags out. And they're like, Katie, come on, just go. And Katie's like, I know my limit. I play within it. I'm on the podcast in the morning. I got to be on my A game. I'm not going. And she like really had like boundaries. And I was like really impressed to see that.
That was really good.
Although
go,
like
girl.
fun Katie is like pretty hard to like.
It's
Yeah.
all or nothing with me. Like, everyone around me knows that too. Like, if I go out to Tom Tom's, like, we're going to be doing shots. Like,
All night, and
Yeah.
you're coming home at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna be Donni from Tuesday. So we just, we're responsible. You've grown up a lot, Katie.
Yeah, good. Nice work.
I'll take it. Leah.
Well, I already mentioned my boss or bust, I feel like, was Donni and I last night being like, you know what? We just finished dinner. Let's think about tomorrow morning. And we hit up Whole Foods and like picked up our supplies for the morning. And then we have some pretty tasty mimosas.
Yeah, if we left it up to like the little children here, we probably wouldn't have mimosas this morning.
No, and part of me was like, let's just go home, like back to the hotel. Let's do this in the morning. And I was like, no, that's a bad idea. It's never going to happen.
I should apologize. I've been making age jokes since I booked their flights.
Little girls.
Little girls. Well, they're just
Yeah.
a lot younger than me.
Is it because you had to look at their birth year?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the birth year. And I was
know.
like, how are you not 8? Like I was just,
Like 90s.
yeah, I was 90s.
90s.
Like
It's
late-
fine. I'm
late
totally impressed with
90s.
the women that they are and the work
Yeah.
that they do. It just blows my mind that they're just not 8. I don't understand.
I
So-
understand.
Okay, Alex, I want to hear from you. What's your boss or bust?
Oh, we got a boss this week. So we moved into our warehouse last January and we've outgrown it. So I'm signing a lease later today for a space that is well more than double the size that we are currently in.
Incredible.
So exciting.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've had like amazing growth. It's been really, really awesome. So I'm
Yeah.
super excited.
You mentioned a stat too before that probably should have been part of your intro, and that was
Yeah.
you sold 200,000 greeting cards last year.
We sure did. It's a shitload of greeting cards.
That's a lot of
The greeting card
cards.
industry is not dead. It is thriving, in fact.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, you're very unique in the products that you have here.
Thank you.
They're very curated.
Yeah, they're very
I
fun.
can't wait for our listeners and our customers to see the product because
Yeah.
like I would buy all of them without a need for them. You know what I mean? I would buy them just for the occasion. Like I'll
Yeah.
wait for the occasion to be able to use this card.
Absolutely.
So it's really forward thinking.
Thanks.
Yeah, it is.
Good one.
Donni, what's your weekly obsession?
Pretty simple. We went to Tironi's last night.
Oh.
Tironi.
Tironi.
So and
good.
I died.
Oh, the lemon spaghetti.
Oh,
Dead.
take me. Oh
It
my gosh.
was unbelievable. It
That's great.
almost like made up for the fact that my daughter was like uncomfortable and leaving the table the entire time.
I get it.
But it was so good. So
I
current
asked our
obsession.
server, I was like, how do you make this at home? Like, would they ever
Yo, we
share
need to
a recipe?
replicate this recipe.
So she said she actually had the recipe for the sauce, tried to make it at home, and she's like, the problem is they home make the pasta right there.
Oh.
So it's really
We're not
hard to
gonna do
duplicate that.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
not going to make pasta.
Really? I feel like you could.
We could.
I could, but again, this is the same thing with granola. I feel like I'm not going to make granola or pasta till my 40s. It's just a boundary I'm setting for myself.
She said I wanted to make granola, but then I felt like I'd be really granola.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's
like,
pretty easy.
I know, but I make everything from scratch because my husband and I both have some food allergies that I'm like, I'm not making granola yet.
You best believe I'll be making homemade granola when I get my hands on the Keeper's Stash CBD honey
Yeah.
all fucking day.
Right.
and I'll be like wanting some mason jars of it. please,
Yes,
and thank
In the
you.
office.
Yeah.
I see a side
Oh, that
business
wasn't even
coming
the
out.
rest of the recipe though. So she said that the thing is that they make the pasta in-house, but they also cook the pasta. Like the noodles are cooked in a cheese water.
Stop it.
I'm serious.
Cheese water?
Is that why Riley's croup came back heavier than ever last night?
I don't.
do you mean?
dairy.
She said they cook it in a Parmesan water.
What
And
are
I was
they,
like,
NASA?
How do you do this?
That is incredible.
So she's like, that's where the flavor comes. It's like a fresh pasta that they immediately cook in a Parmesan water.
That's not happening at my house.
That's totally
I tried
fucking happening.
I tried that at
much.
home with like the Kraft shaker and the pot of water. It's Parmesan
Who's
water.
coming over for dinner tonight? It's like Kraft shake.
Put
Oh my god.
Kraft in with my Annie's. How's it taste,
Okay,
ladies?
I'm gonna try it with a vegan cheese. I'll let you know how it works
Oh
out.
God. It's gonna be like a sludge.
It's gonna be so gross.
I need to know. I need to get to the bottom of this. I need to figure out how in the world they make Parmesan water.
Okay, so a lot of tomato soups or like a chicken soup are cooked with a Parmesan rind in the water, and I think that's probably what they do.
Unbelievable.
So throw in a Parmesan rind
We
in
just
the
have
water,
lying around. Yeah, totally.
right?
Oh yeah, don't you have like a massive parm wheel that
Yeah.
you can just grind, get the rind on the edge off?
Sure. I'm just gonna hack at it a little bit.
That's the secret, though, you guys. That is the
amazing.
secret.
That's amazing. That's a really good tip or fact.
That's not even my tip or fact. I have another one.
Fucking wait for it, guys. It's coming.
Okay, well, my weekly obsession.
Yeah.
As we were walking to Trony last night, I saw this little store and a bunch of little bottles looked like facial stuff, and I was like, "Ooh, Donni, what is that?" I'm already halfway in
Can't
the
wait for you
store.
to botch this word. Go.
Aesop.
Yeah, you got it. She did it.
So
Oh,
it's
I
an
thought it was Aesop. It's Aesop.
It's Aesop.
They said it was Aesop,
The A silent.
They're probably right. I'm not.
but it does look like it should be Aesop.
So coolest brand ever. But
Aside
she
from
actually
PRIV.
besides that. But so I got like a lip lotion, but then she gave me she asked me some questions about my skin, gave me a couple samples. Tried this parsley seed oil on my face last night, and it was like heavenly. Woke up this morning, my face feels amazing. Like I'm actually gonna go back on my way to Trony's again tonight and buy it
Yeah, I like that idea.
because I'm taking the girls to Trony's.
I want to go check it out and like have the experience.
And they're like, "Do you want to just like wash your hands and then use our hand balm?" And I'm like,
Yes,
There's
like a
sink right in the
scrubby
middle of the
hand
store.
soap.
And there's like, Katie looks at me. She's like, "Does yours have beads in it?" I'm like, "We're washing hands." I'm like,
It was like
"Yes."
scrubby
What is this
exfoliant.
glorious place? It was like, it was actually like a fabulous experience. I felt like it was a hand spa.
She was very knowledgeable too, and like she was a great saleswoman.
I instantly was like, "You need to come on as a sponsor. Like, we need."
oh
you
yeah, their
to, like,
products.
sponsor.
I
And
think
I'm-
there's one of their stores in like.
She said she
There's
thinks
something,
there's one in
something
Vancouver.
Gastown.
Yeah, Gastown is
There
what
is
I was
one in
thinking of.
Gastown, is what she
Yes.
said.
I'm very particular about what I put on my face.
Yeah,
and
you
I
are.
Slather that shit on there all day long.
Yeah, Katie's
And it's
an
like good
esthetician.
ingredients.
Esthetician.
There you go.
Good job. That's your boss. Okay, my weekly obsession. Well, it's kind of like a tip and a fact at the same time. Donni, you told me I had to share this last night. We were talking about cheese.
I forget, but go.
Okay. So we were talking about how I do have a dairy sensitivity, but I'm eating some of like the nice fancy old
Oh yeah,
cheeses
they're really
we bought.
fermented.
So there's not like good or bad cheeses, but if you have a dairy sensitivity, not like an anaphylaxis, but if you have a sensitivity, it's normally to the lactose. So older, fancier, smellier cheeses have usually been through a process. Well, some yogurts too, because they're fermented. They've usually gone through a process that has aged them. Then it naturally removes the lactose. So a lot of people with a dairy sensitivity could have like Parmesan, or what were the ones we
Blue
got?
Gorgonzola.
You might be able to do blue. What were the ones we got here?
Oh, there's a Manchego.
And a Parm.
Yeah, and it was a Parm. Yeah.
Yeah, so those.
But it's like it was like the most, I always like with Parm, you just get the most expensive one.
Yeah.
It's like simple,
like
easy
super
rule.
aged. So
With everything in your life. Just kidding.
It's usually a safe bet. Just go for the most expensive one. I have a knack for picking out the most expensive thing without seeing a price tag, believe it or not.
I believe it.
I do too. I'll walk into somewhere and be like, "Oh, those are the glasses we need." I'm like, $300 a piece. No.
Like, as a matter of fact, these are a special edition collaboration, and these are
Yes.
actually twice the price of everything else.
Yes,
I
of course.
would never believe that.
Of course they are. Yeah, every time we go buying together, oh, those are the best jeans. Oh no, we're not bringing those in. Always.
Those aren't for sale.
Anyhow, so the cheeses kind of naturally ferment and have a really high content of active bacterial cultures because of the aging process that they naturally go to.
Really interesting. I always wondered, like, why is cheese in two places at the grocery store? When you go, like, why is it in the deli, which is like the good stuff, the good
Only the
expensive
good
stuff, and then there's like all the garbage over in the milk section
In a plastic bag.
In a plastic
with a
bag.
zipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can, you should probably eat a cheese not from North America. Like if you're buying a really aged cheese, buy it from like a France cheese or something.
Yeah, because I'm like not quitting cheese. Like I'll love it.
Francais queso.
I'm not gonna lie. Katie's actually mad at me because we went for coffee this morning and
Soups, man.
she orders and then I order and then at the last minute I'm like, I'll actually switch to oat milk. And she's like, didn't have time to change it, but she'd ordered almond milk and she's like,
I'd already put it
they
in.
have oat milk? Like what the hell?
She's like, oh, here's the newest rave. I'm like, why didn't
Yeah.
you fucking tell me? Like,
yeah, but
I
then they
placed
want a
my
tip.
order.
But they didn't tell you about the oat milk. I don't know.
it's pretty good.
It's so good and so
is good.
creamy.
Yeah.
And I haven't tried oat milk before today.
It's great. Well, welcome to LA. We have all kinds of milk.
It's true.
Yeah.
So many kinds.
It's true. Okay, Alex, your weekly obsession.
I am listening to Michelle Obama's book, Becoming.
I have
and
heard
I
this.
am
I've been told to read it.
freaking the fuck out about it. You guys, she is like, I knew she was like a boss, but like she's a boss. Like she's amazing. Just such a strong, kick-ass woman. And I hope one day I can meet her. She's
Just her,
she's
like
great.
just her one saying, like when they go low, we go high.
Yeah.
It's like as simple as that. You can take that mantra through every single thing in your life.
And she really has, like throughout like her like life story in the book, it's really fascinating just to kind
She's
of
a woman of grace. Like
Absolutely.
totally like to the max. If I can
She
use
keeps
one
her values.
word to describe her, it would be grace.
and I think she really got it from her parents. If you read the book, you'll totally see that. And like she was just raised in a very like graceful, like grateful place, and I think it's amazing. And so I feel like I'm taking a lot of that right now. I'm taking it in.
My mom
great.
texted me so casually one day and she's like, so Michelle Obama is coming to Vancouver. Like, I know it might not really be your thing, but would you maybe just go with me? And I was like, what? Buy tickets immediately. Like, how
Yes.
dare you offend me
When
and say
is
it's
she
not my
coming?
thing? I think it's like March or
Roughly.
April. It's this spring.
Interesting.
You gotta
But
go.
she's all like, oh, I know it's not your thing. I'm like, you don't know me at
Mom.
all, woman.
You don't even
I
know.
feel like
Buy
that's
a ticket
totally your
now.
thing.
It's so my thing.
Very
I'll be
like a
quoting
moment
Michelle
in
Obama
time.
for the rest of the year on the podcast. Anyhow, we love her.
She's great.
Donni, who's your boss babe crush?
Okay, I have a good one this week, actually. She's a friend and a neighbor of mine.
Fun neighbor.
A fun neighbor. Her name is Destiny, and she just started. She has 2 little kids, like literally has a new baby. And she started a business. It's a very simple concept. We haven't seen it in Vancouver before.
But she took like a very elegant spin on it.
A very elegant spin on a very basic concept. It's called the Grace Company. And she does like wonderful charcuteries.
Oh, but even like, but they're like charcuterie boxes or like vegan boxes, like snack boxes.
It's packaged to be delivered. It's like the closest thing I could compare it to would be like Give Lando. Like Lando
yeah.
flowers, the way they're packaged, like her branding. She does like either they do boxes for like 15, 20, 30 people. And they're like absolutely elegant.
So you could like whip it out at a party, like
Yeah,
ready.
like her Valentine's Day.
They do deliver. Like they don't deliver. They don't ship it. They do delivery. But you
Amazing.
can order by the meter. So you could order like I'm planning an event and I want to have like 2 meters. So it's an entire table and it's like cheeses
cool.
and meats and they have vegan options.
Chocolate
awesome.
covered pretzels.
That is
carrots.
so cool.
So they started. She says she has one for us as well. She's going to bring to the office when we podcast.
Oh my
so we're
goodness.
going to get to experience it.
On Monday.
I haven't given her a date yet because we've been like out of town and everywhere. But it's actually pretty crazy what they're doing because
We want the Valentine's Day box with the bottle of Moet. Just saying.
you did.
No, I said we want that.
I'm like, you guys got it and didn't tell me. I'm
So
actually
her
so mad at you
Valentine's
right
Day
now.
box you could
psyched
order
on
had
me.
like a legit bottle of Moet in the middle of it with all the food and everything around it.
And was it like a meter or two, you know?
A meter of Moet.
A meter of Moet.
I would take that. A meter stick.
Oh my God, I
meter
love
stick
it.
champagne. Like who hasn't? Why hasn't anyone done that?
That's such a great idea.
So
I
cool.
love this.
She's partnering with some major corporations right
bet.
now and some huge companies, and she's even talking franchising like this early.
How has this never happened?
That's what I thought when
This
I
is what
first saw
happens,
it.
man.
I
There's a
think
hole.
now that she's done
Yeah.
it, she's kind of new to like the Instagram world, and it's a very Instagrammable business.
Oh, yeah.
She's now dealing with like knockoffs and people who are imitating, and
Oh, yeah.
the backlash, and it's like kind of negative. So I'm like hoping that she will get past it, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like a really cool concept. I see big things for her future, and I think it's going to do really, really
And
well.
she also
that's
has like
so
a
good.
kids option, like a kids
Or like
grace
for
table.
a birthday party or
Yes.
something.
So smart.
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh
you
my
know more
goodness,
about
I
this
love
than
her.
I do.
Let's support her and pump her out there.
I 100%. I'm like, when you're ready to podcast, like I actually don't think she's ready to promote herself, even like
Probably
on a
not.
podcast, because I think she's like, they've been influx with so much business that they're just
Wow.
they're two moms, just like they have a space, they're doing it, and they're doing a wonderful job, but it's like you can only do so much.
Right.
So they need a team.
Wow,
So they're gonna be
that
growing their
is
team
such
and
a great
watching them
business.
do
I
it. It's
can't
like-
wait to hear from
I
her.
see big things for her. I
Oh
think it's
yeah,
gonna be
that's
really
so
good.
brilliant.
Yeah, so follow
her.
the Grace Company. Her name is Destiny, and she'll be linked through that account. So.
Amazing. Katie, who's yours?
My boss babe crush this week is Jasmine Sanghash. I met her originally she shopped at Privilege when I was store manager at Langley. She is the nicest.
Almond
She's
milk is
super
terrible.
cute. I switched our coffees. Donnie just noticed. I got oat milk now. She's super cute. She is a nutritionist. She's also a fitness instructor. She runs classes at Aura Fitness. I actually just booked in for her Friday class. She's like, because I just ran into her again. I went out into the front end of Privilege and she was in there. And like every time I talk to her or see her, I leave with just like the best feeling. She's so uplifting and positive. And she was telling me about her R&B class at Aura Fitness, so I booked into it. She's like, it's amazing. It is a flow class, but like you're listening to Destiny's Child, TLC, like all the best R&B songs. So yeah, she's just an amazing
cool.
person all around.
That sounds like a great class,
Yeah.
first of all.
Her Instagram handle is _crave_your_life_, and just seeing her post daily, like she gives you nutritional facts, nutritional recipes, like uplifting vibes.
Wow, that's so cool. I like the sounds of her. Okay. I don't know if I've shared my crush on this person yet, but I keep seeing her on Instagram doing like the cutest, funniest cooking videos, and we all know I relate to that. It's Jennifer Garner.
Oh,
I haven't seen this.
100.
Have
She's
you
amazing.
seen her on Instagram?
Amazing.
I haven't seen it.
She's very real.
She absolutely kills me. She'll be like, okay, you guys, my kids are sleeping, but I thought I would get up and make like, homemade bread. Never done this before. Let's see how it goes. And she's like, bakes like I do. This is kind of a cup, right? And she's like trying to whisper about it.
It's all video. Like,
Yeah, she does videos.
Like the stories, yeah.
Yeah,
It's great.
she is hilarious. I can't believe I haven't
Unbelievable.
showed her yet. Everyone absolutely has to go check her out.
she's really funny.
She's so
Yeah.
funny.
Like, I wouldn't-
but she's
I don't
just
think
being,
you think of her like that.
I don't think of her as being funny. I
she's
think of
just
her
being
as
herself though. Like she's not putting
Yeah.
on a show.
That's awesome. She like, how's she doing in her life? Like, since is she?
You
Like,
know, we haven't talked lately, so I can't really say.
I feel like I've been concerned about her.
From Instagram, she's doing pretty darn
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
She's
because
got like a boyfriend and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm pretty happy to hear
doesn't
that.
she have like some banker or financial guy or something?
I don't
Something
think he's
like
poor.
businessy.
Yeah.
I think Ben did
Yeah.
a number on her. I think that was really unfair.
I think he did it on a few people.
I
For
just
real.
Like
I
a bit of a
think
dirty
that-
John.
I don't know her, but from what I have seen of her and like heard in her interviews and stuff, she seems though like she's a pretty balanced person and processes and deals with things and moves on.
Yeah,
for
she
her.
seems. She
I
definitely
mean,
seems.
again,
very,
I don't know her.
Well, we should call her and we should
should
maybe
call
check
her.
in and
Yeah.
just see how she's doing. But I feel like I think of her as being like a very like level-headed person as well.
Yeah. Even from what you see of her like on Instagram, you'll appreciate it, Donni. She's so funny.
Okay, I'm into that.
Yeah,
funny
she's
moms.
great.
It's like kind of my thing.
Oh, and like the way she's like cooking in the morning and like, oh yeah, you've just got to go watch her videos.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah. Alex, who are you crushing on?
My wholesale manager. She's like, bless. Her name's Erica. She's amazing. She is the ringleader of my shit circus. That is what I call her. She's amazing because I'm a very ADD person and I'm all over the place with a conversation. Like she'll be in the studio and I'm bouncing from one thing to the next. And this week we've had a lot going on. We're signing with a new rep group. We're signing a building. We're moving across the street. It's like a lot. And she just takes it all in stride. Like this is a lot of crazy to contain. And she's my container and she's great.
That's so cool. I
she's
feel like
killing
that's
it.
So she
Donni.
does your wholesale sales?
So she is, well, she kind of like, she's my number 2. Like I'm number 1 and she's like number 2. She's my number 1, I guess.
But you are number 1.
I am number 1.
You should just do mugs, one that says number 1 and one that says number 2.
That would
be
cute.
hysterical.
Yeah.
That's really funny. She wrangles everything. So she helps with inventory. She is in charge of our wholesale sales. She's in charge of our rep groups across the country. She runs sales reports. She does commissions. She does all of our trade shows. Yeah, she's amazing. She's like on another level.
So she's the person, like when we order, I'll be emailing with her.
Yeah, you'll be emailing
So
with
cool.
her, or like one of our girls or me. Like it just kind of depends. Like we have like we call it the lifeblood. It's like our wholesale email is like it's the vein. Of
Everybody
Chez
get
Gagné.
in there and take
everyone
care of
gets
it.
in there and takes care of it all day, every day for sure.
That's cool.
It's amazing. Yeah, she's thank God for her. I
can't wait to meet her.
So fucked without her.
I can't wait to meet her probably firstly by email.
Yep, definitely by email.
In 5
She's
minutes.
amazing.
In 5 minutes from now.
Correct. When you place your order, it's
Exactly.
gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Donni, what are you working on improving this week?
Okay, I have owned the book, The 4 Agreements, and I've owned it for a long time. And I've been told by many people, you need to read this book. This book will change your life. This is everything. And it's come up on multiple podcasts, like I think maybe 3 or 4 podcasts. So I just decided, it came up on my Instagram feed. Who was it? I think Jules Newmark posted it yesterday. Obviously, she's my boss babe crush of the week. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to read it. I just decided. She posted it and like listed all these point forms, and I was just going through it, and I was like, I need to read this book because I think it is literally a transformative book. So that's my goal.
That's a good goal. Katie?
Yeah, not on the ball. Next. What's the question?
You should work on improving your sleep.
I'm really hot right now, and I can't concentrate. I'm trying to like fan myself with this card without making too much noise in the microphone. Like,
honestly,
what is
this
up
room,
here?
I'm with you. This room, the entire time we podcasted, I'm either like baking and sweating or freezing cold. It's
Next.
so weird.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you. Next. You're working on improving your sleep. Let's just go with that.
Okay.
Not to be super deep about it, but I have been focusing on this already, but I just haven't vocalized it yet on the podcast. I've been really trying to intentionally compliment people's skills.
That's nice.
So like if I
That's
notice
great.
that you're really good at something, I try to compliment on that, and I try and balance it with like, it's nice to be like, oh my gosh, you look so great today, but then I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to compliment your skills too. Like, I love how you did whatever, or you're so strong at this or whatever. But I'm trying to like balance the looks comments with emotional comments.
Those are constructive ones. I like it.
Well, yeah, and
And they're
feel
meaningful.
It's like you're esteemed.
I'd rather get complimented on like something I'm actually doing and that I'm good at.
Yeah, I would too, and I think for me it was like stemmed from a place of like, I don't know if I'm doing good ever. Like I just never know. So I'm like, I don't want anyone else to feel that way. I want to start complimenting them on what they're doing well so that they know. Even if it's like a mom friend, like I'll text her and be like, you know what? I think you're like momming the crap out of your kids this week.
Totally.
Like, well done.
Well, it's kind of like recognizing what people are spending the majority of their time on. And the majority of us aren't like, oh my God, I need to look pretty all the time. But it is really the one thing we talk about so much.
Yeah.
Oh, you look so good. I love your hair. This, like, it's like surface.
Like, who cares? Am I a good person? Am I doing a good job? Am I a good mother or friend or whatever?
Scout and Maddie from OK Sis talked about this on
Yeah.
their podcast, and they were saying, she's like, I wish people, instead of telling me I was pretty, would tell me I'm articulate.
That's right.
And that was her language. She wanted to hear that. That's what she focused on. That was her, you know, her strength, and she's incredibly articulate. And I've been thinking about that a lot. Like,
and let's be honest, like we're all not 14 anymore. Like we know how we look. Like I know how I look in a picture.
yeah.
I know how I look
We're
in the mirror.
fixated
Like
on it.
that's fine. I don't need to hear anymore like how I look. I want to know if I'm doing a good job, if I'm a good person, if I'm whatever.
Can I like take this to the next level? 'Cause
Yes.
it's not just about how we talk about people, it's how we talk about ourselves.
Exactly.
So like realizing, what do you need to hear? Like where what are you proud of? Like recognizing those little things and then saying them to yourself.
Totally. And so I think that like even deeper, like thinking about how Instagram has changed our world, it's all about how you look, and like you're posting the best photo of yourself and you know you look good and people are liking it because you have a great outfit. But I kind of want to get past that and like get to the next level, and I want to maybe just give that to somebody else and
It's a
encourage them
good
in some way.
movement to start.
Yeah.
It's important. I like that.
Thanks. What are you working on, Alex?
I am working on making decisions quickly, and actually making them. I definitely am one of those people who like put off something because I'm like, oh, I don't want to think about that right now. Like it's too, I'll just think about it later. And it's like, I was reading about Steve Jobs, who literally would make a decision right then.
I used this in the last podcast about making decisions. I totally agree. Yes.
Oh yeah. And it's such a thing I'm trying to work on. Instead of saying like, oh, let me think about that later. It's like, no, let me think about it for 5 seconds right now. I'm going to make a decision and I'm not going to look back. It is what it is. Like, and you got to keep going.
Because it's done. 80% and done.
Totally. And that's just, my to-do list is incredibly long as a business owner and like as a wife and a for mom, and you know there's a lot to be done all day every day. So instead of having to like really think about something, sometimes it's just better to make a decision and then maybe deal with those repercussions later.
Yeah, totally.
And just to kind of keep the ball rolling, just to keep moving like one foot in front of the other and just keep your life going and your business going. So sometimes that's just making a decision quickly is sometimes a little bit better than really dwindling on it.
And I've heard there's a stat that talks about the exhaustion that comes from decision making. Like for me, if I have a big day at work that's a lot of decisions, I get home and I'm like, I can't decide dinner. Like someone needs to figure this out for me.
And it's mental exhaustion.
It's mental exhaustion, but I think that it's actually scientific that if you choose to make decisions quickly rather than stew on them and process them, it's way less energy for you. Because like you said, you've made it, you're moving forward. Where if you're like, let me come back to you, you have that decision to make, and then another one comes on, you have to think about both, but then your mind starts getting confused and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like
you only have so much willpower in a day. I was reading The Power of Habit again last week, and it really, the faster you can make a decision, the less willpower like you have to like use, and then you have that for other decisions to be made or other parts of your life to kind of be enhanced and do more things. So
and a point
really
Donni made also was like, you don't always, even if you think about it for like 2 hours, you still cannot know the right decision usually. So it's like you just have to pick one anyways.
There's a chance that every decision you will make the wrong one.
Yeah. So just make it quickly.
Right.
And then with the information you have, and then go forward. If it's the wrong one, you'll deal with it.
Yeah, and I've been trying to do that with email too. I'm like notoriously like a black hole email inbox person, and like I'm trying to not be. I've definitely will sit down for like
respond right away instead of like
make a
flagging
decision on it.
Instead
of marking us on red and like tagging it as something. It's like, no, make a decision right then. Just like deal with it right then. And it's so interesting. I met a gal at a trade show. Maybe this was like 6 months ago in Atlanta, and I have thought about this ever since. And she was talking to me a little bit about business, and she was like, you know, the one motto that like I really like live by, and she's like, I wanted to come say hi to you, is to do it right now. And I was like, what do you, like, what? And then she's like, do it right. Like, do it right now. Like, whatever it is, do it right and do it right now. And so I'm trying to take that to heart and, like, really make decisions like that instead of, like, putting it off and, like, you know, maybe procrastinating on it or saying I'm going to do it later. It's like, no, I'm going to do it right and I'm going to do it right now.
I love that.
So I think about that a lot.
That is a really good one.
Do the next right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that since that podcast.
That was a really good one.
It's really it simplifies life, because life can be so overwhelming when you have an inbox with the amount of emails that we all get.
Stressful looking at it.
And you've got things coming at you from all directions. You know, maybe a child needs something, or an employee needs something, or a partner needs something, or a friend needs something. And it's like, just do the next right thing. That's it. It's pretty much as simple as life can be. You might not have tomorrow.
Right.
Oh, I love that. Okay, Alex. We want to hear more about you and your business.
Sure.
Tell us the story.
I love you. You're like my spirit animal.
We have people say that on our cards sometimes, because they're always like, oh my God, you're like actually writing what I'm thinking in my head. Oh, more mimosas, please.
Thank you, Donni, for hopping up.
You go, girl.
I feel like this is my job.
It's not a bad job to have. It's good. So a little bit about Chez Gagné. So I was running, actually let's back up. So out of college, I was working for a luxury PR and marketing company, which was super fun and sexy, but living in Washington.
That sounds really sexy.
It sounds so great.
And I had amazing bosses, like total boss babes. Like I'm still in contact with them. They're amazing. Barb and Jane, you guys are the shit. They're so wonderful. And I was like one of their first real hires, and it was super fun, and I loved doing it. But you know, living in a major city with major city expenses and being fresh out of college and an entry-level job, like it just wasn't financially viable for me to do that. And so I had a job opportunity back in LA to run marketing for a family friend of ours for his like IT software company, and it sounded terrible, but I was like, all right, I'll interview at least. And actually, it was super interesting. They helped do software solutions for big finance, IT, and marketing teams, and they would take data, like predictive data, and help either with marketing campaigns or like help grow the business, like basically looking at information that was already there and making that information useful. Yeah. So that was really cool, and I was there for 5 years, and I was just kind of burning out towards the end, and my boss was on another level amazing. I'm still in contact with him. He's such a great guy. And he was really big on like work-life balance. And so he really wanted me to take a class outside of work that would, you know, be a little bit different than what I was doing day to day. So I took a letterpress class because during my lunch breaks, I would go to Kitson down the street and go look at all the letterpress cards because I've always loved cards.
Just loved it.
I loved it my whole life, like paper, the texture, and I just thought letterpress was so cool because it's like there's a texture to it. It's not printed on like a digital press. It's actually vintage printing presses like from the 40s and the 50s that are being used to actually
I didn't think about that when I looked at them.
Yeah, so everything has to be like fully set up on the press. You don't just like hit a go button like someone's manually
it's not a
operating
printer.
it. Exactly, it's not a printer. So I took a class at night at the Art Center of College and Design in Pasadena. I mean, a night class, very fun. And the second I walked in, I was like, oh, dude, this is so for me. This is so cool. Amazing. The smells of like the paper and the inks and like hearing the presses going, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So I took a semester there, and then I took another semester, and then I took another semester. So I just kind of kept doing it, and I loved it. So I was making cards for friends. I did some wedding invitations for friends. And then I was like, you know, I bet I could like kind of make this into a business. I've always been like very entrepreneurial minded. I've always had like weird little side businesses. And so I started doing some cards, and I went into my local gift store that I love. It's called Serendipity. It's in Studio City. And I was like, hey, just want to ask you a couple questions about cards. Like, what do people like about cards? And she's like, you know, people really like funny cards.
It's so true.
If you can make someone have an experience with your product, they're going to buy it. Like whether it's like a laugh or whatever, if you can make somebody feel something about your product, especially if it's in a positive way, they're probably going to buy it, especially at like a $5 or $6 price point. I mean, like
even if it's like on a serious note, like
absolutely
that birthday card you bought Doug that time, like even if it's like super serious, sometimes you just need to lighten the fucking mood.
Yeah,
a funny card.
Yeah. And so that's a lot of like what we do. So I really took that to heart when I was like designing like what we were going to do and like what kind of cards I wanted to put out. And so I took this awesome course, this is a thing, called Paper Camp. It teaches you how to wholesale.
I would totally go to Paper Camp.
Paper Camp is the bomb. I'm actually going to be on the alumni panel next week.
It teaches you how to do wholesale?
How to wholesale in the paper world, like in the world of paper, because there is a big world
I'm thinking
of paper.
like The Office.
Kind of, but like not at all, actually. It's awesome.
And I'm thinking of all these people that are very straight-laced and square, and then you showing up with your cards.
Mine were a little on the different side, I would say, for sure.
And
like,
I just think that's a very funny mental image. But
absolutely. And it was right around the time when like Rifle Paper Company kind of became a thing, and like all the like hand illustration and like a lot of like watercolor and that sort of thing. And then there was my like big bold text of like, I smell old people. Oh wait, it's you. Card. And so we were just kind of on, it was a different card. It was definitely for like a different audience, but I loved it. It was a 2-day in-person workshop in Manhattan Beach. There's a gal named Katie Hunt who runs it, and she's great. And they teach you how to wholesale. And so what was weird about that is I had signed up for the National Stationery Show, which it took place every May at Javits in New York. And I had got waitlisted for a group booth called Ladies of Letterpress, and guys, this is like a real thing. Like, you know how there's like sub-communities? Like, I am in a sub-community of like the paper people.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's so
Is there anybody in that world as funny as you?
I don't know, man. I think I see things a little bit differently than most people, but
You are like the Mother Teresa of the paper world.
Well,
You're like
thank you. I mean,
standing
that
out.
if that's a headline
Like,
I could ever take,
I mean, I don't know if
would.
Mother Teresa. I mean, like, who's like a really top-notch comedian, like that person in the paper world? Like, I've
you.
never seen anything as funny as.
You're like the
these.
Amy
Thanks, girl.
Poehler of the paper world.
I'll take
Yes.
it. I'm into it. I love her.
Good.
She's a boss
She's
babe.
amazing.
Yeah. Next
One of
week.
us should have said her.
She's great. Well, next week we could say it, I suppose.
That's true.
Always looking for a boss babe.
Absolutely. But so someone had ended up dropping out of Ladies of Letterpress booth. I got in, and I was going to paper camp like a couple weeks later. So I had a lot of people prepare for the stationery show. Like they'll like prepare for a year or 2 years, and they'll kind of get themselves ready for it. And I've just never really lived my life like that. I like to live on the edge a little bit, and I just kind of jump in and say, "Holy shit, let's grow wings as we are falling to the ground at a rapid pace."
Yeah.
So
We relate.
Oh my God. Let's grow wings while we are falling to the ground at a rapid pace. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
That's how we survive.
You just kind of
Yeah.
figure it out. Like I've just
It's
lived my
called being
entire life
taking
like that.
risks.
Yeah, and I'm really good at it. My husband is absolutely terrified. Every time I'm doing something, he's like, "Oh my God, okay."
Here
We're
we
two
go.
very different people.
Well, Leah, it's the same thing we talk about that man. That men. I'm really funny today.
You are really funny today.
That men naturally are much better at taking risks when they're unprepared than women are.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't have any stats to back that statement, but we've been referencing it many episodes.
We have
Fact check.
Do not fact check us ever.
Noted.
Like my cheese stuff, I don't know if that's real.
There's so many
Parm
people
water.
throwing like cheddar blocks into their water right now.
Totally. I don't know if that's
It's all
true.
about the rind,
Yeah.
we think.
We need to like hashtag like ad don't sue us.
Apparently you can leave meat on the counter
don't
for
fact
24
check.
hours.
I
and
don't
eat
know.
it.
I'd fact check
Oh, no.
mom on everything.
Yikes.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
how you
so I
got
took-
in there and did that.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, all right, we got to do it. So I whipped out like 55 cards in like 2 or 3 months. And keep in mind, I'm printing
Sounds like that makes sense.
all
yeah.
of this myself on
Yeah.
a vintage printing press.
I could work with you. Like
Yeah.
that would not scare me. Your working techniques and you're taking
No,
risks.
it just we figure it out, and yeah.
So let me get this right. You have to reset up the one machine you have
Absolutely.
every time for every card.
For
like
every card style.
yes.
So, every
you,
design.
You would make one design, you'd print X amount, and then you'd change it.
and then cut them down on a vintage cutter. Yeah.
I want
This is
to. I want to
very
see
nice.
it.
Sample is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, yeah,
Sample
and it's
is a-
expensive too. It's not cheap because it's not like you can just like we do the mock-ups. Like I do all the work in Illustrator and Adobe Illustrator, and then we have that. So the process for letterpress is you design it in Illustrator. Although it didn't used to be like that. They like literally
Drew it.
used to set type, like metal type. Like I had to learn in my letterpress class the first time to set type, like a period, a space, an S, a T. It was insane. I will never ever do that. It is way too much work. So I lay it out in Illustrator, and then that gets sent to the original way of doing is that gets sent to someone who then makes a silver negative of it, like think of like kind of like an X-ray.
Yeah.
And then that gets sent to a photopolymer maker, which think of a like rubber stamp,
Like a
that
stamp.
like a stamp, yeah, but it's made out of like photopolymer, which is like hard plastic.
Yeah.
And then that gets a sticky backing on it or a metal backing, depending on the base that's put on your press. And then you hand apply all the ink to the press, and then it rolls itself, like if it's a cylinder press, or it just kind of depends which kind of printing press you're using. And then you like hand roll that down the press with each sheet of paper. Yeah.
So cool.
And that's not like a Heidelberg. A Heidelberg's kind of like a little bit more automatic, which is what all of our stuff
So
is
you're
done
actually
on
really
now.
fascinated with the art behind this.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
It's not just about the quotes and like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that
No,
might
that's
look
fun.
like this company,
Yeah.
but be just printing shit.
Like I was the tangible aspect of making something and then selling it was super freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, that's so
Very
cool.
I love
Do you
that
still
it's an
do-
art. Yeah.
Do you still do do you have people working in your factory doing
So we
that
work
now?
with an amazing company in Irvine called Czar Press, and so I still do our original runs of cards. So I'll do like 50 of the first one. Although this last release I didn't have time to do that, but I generally will run all of them. I just bought a press a couple months ago for the first time. I finally own my own. I was renting forever and ever. Presses are super expensive. I paid
I was just gonna say
$16,000
I was gonna ask
yeah, I
for
bet
a
it would be
press
pricey.
from like 1942.
Are you so jazzed?
That's
on all
so
the things
cool
you can
to
press
own
now?
that.
Yeah, I was
though.
freaking out. It was the coolest thing ever. It was amazing. It's the press I actually like really learned to print on is the press I bought. So
What?
it's very
That's
like
so
it's
cool.
emotional. It's very cool. Like I've spent a lot of time with this press and like I can't wait for a new space so that I can get up and running and actually be printing on it again.
That's why I asked, because you seem so passionate about the actual process. And I think as an entrepreneur, you could get so easily stuck doing a million other things that need to be done.
Yeah,
I didn't
for
expect
sure.
that. Like when we were going to sit down with you, like I knew we were going to talk about the business. I know you have scale. I know you have a lot of cool designs. I did not understand at all the art form behind it.
No, I
Yeah,
really
so
appreciate
amazing.
it a
Yeah.
lot more.
And that's how
now.
I really got into it. I was like, letterpress is so cool. And it's funny because I never really thought about it, but I've always made cards for people. And I've made funny cards for people my whole life. Like my friends, I never get around to doing Christmas cards ever, but I send Valentine's Day cards out every year.
What was your first like saying? Your first big card that like
My
really?
first big card is the I Smell Old People card.
Yes.
To this day, it is our #1 selling card. My mom hates this
I
card.
love
She
it.
hates it
I
so
bet
much.
she
My
does.
grandma loves it.
It's so funny. The one I really clicked with is
This one?
We never liked him anyway.
It's a solid choice.
It's so funny. Or this one, well, isn't that the cherry on a shit sundae?
Yeah.
Like these are real cards that you
Yeah.
can give to people with real life situations.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you go to like the
Carlton
greeting
cards
yeah,
and-
and you're like, I don't relate to any of these.
Well,
And
you're
usually
either
there's-
getting like a birthday, a Christmas, an Easter. Like you're only getting, you're not getting these funny sayings for like a breakup or someone going through a hard time or relatable instances.
So
You know.
there's a story that my sister referenced before on the greeting card, and my brother passed away almost 2 years ago, and he turned 37,
36.
right? 36, right before he passed away.
Yeah.
And so, how do you get
And he was like bedridden.
somebody
He
who's
was sick.
terminally ill a happy birthday card?
Right.
A, it's not really a happy birthday. B,
No.
most of the cards out there are like, oh, like you're another year older, but like what he would have given. Like I was like, all I want is a sarcastic card that's gonna make him laugh. And I ended
Right.
up finding a card that said, happy fucking birthday.
Yep.
Come and blow out the candles and get the fuck out of here.
I love that.
And I saw it and I had emotional. I cried in the store with the card. I was like, it's the only thing I relate to at this point in time. And I bought it and gave it to him. It can be a really emotional experience.
Absolutely. It's an experience.
It was like a real life situation that like there was nothing in a regular store that like talked to me.
There's not.
And let's be honest, a lot of the greeting cards, like I absolutely despise picking out cards because I love to send cards for random life things that are happening.
Me too,
Same.
girl.
But I hate going to the store and picking a card
Yeah.
because I never find what I want to say.
Totally.
It's like all the same things over and over again.
Absolutely. And I think
It's
that's
so
probably
boring.
why we sell so well into like women's clothing stores right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Is because people are finding our products at a place that they're comfortable at. They're buying clothing. They're like, they know what they're going to wear, but like we've kind of become part of that culture of like, you're going to buy clothes. Oh my gosh, here's a great card. I can totally use that for something.
I would buy it if I didn't even need it then because they're that awesome.
Yeah, because you
know?
know you're
buy
gonna
6.
You know you're gonna
Yep.
need it.
happens all the time.
Also, when you need a card, are you not like running out to the grocery store to buy flowers and a card like right before you go to the event or
Yeah.
whatever? It's the most frustrating thing in my life is those kind of moments.
Yeah.
I just hate them.
I have definitely bought cards totally off season, not even near the time when I needed them, just
Absolutely.
because a card spoke to me and was like, I'm gonna need that for so and so in 6 months.
For sure.
Because I know when it happens, I'm never gonna find the right card.
We definitely have people pre-buy the "we never liked him anyway" card. They're like, "Well, I can't wait to get this."
Yes, I will.
'Cause
There
that's
will be
gonna
someone.
awesome. Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
know who it's for
Oh,
already.
you met a guy named John, did ya?
You give it to
Yeah.
them like 3 seconds after the breakup. You've had it for like 6 months.
And you pray that they don't get back together because you gave that card.
Yeah. I mean, psych. You need
Well,
to
now
make
this
another
is
follow-up
awkward.
Card now.
We probably do need
I'm
a follow-up
kidding,
card
I did
for
like
that.
him. I was just saying what I needed to hear.
It's great. I'm so happy for you.
But I'm so
Yeah.
flattered because there's
Yes,
a
I still
One
don't
Hot
like
Mama
him.
candle sitting in front of me.
Yeah,
Well,
girl.
yeah, I want to talk about candles next. That's
Yeah.
you. Just
So
tell
we've
us about your
expanded
candles.
our line a lot.
It smells
I know it's amazing.
Thank you.
like the opposite of Elliot shitting on the carpet this morning.
Grapefruit, I think.
Thank God for that. Oh man, you could have lit that baby up. this
I think
morning.
we need to light that baby up still. I opened up the patio. We made a rule, like, don't open the patio door because we have 2 younger girls in the
Right.
room and we're like,
and a short balcony.
yeah. And so this morning I opened it up and I was like standing there. Donnie walks out. I'm like, I think we need to just like, it's a little musky in here.
Air it out. Did you lock it after?
Yes, I did, Donni.
Just checking.
Side
Yeah,
note.
windows
Side
closed
note.
and locked.
Should we actually
Alex,
talk
tell
about
us-
Elliot shitting on the carpet for like a hot second?
Quickly.
Just
Uno
quickly.
momento.
Not just pause all your entrepreneurial spirit. I
Quickly.
fucking
We'll get
love
right
you.
back
We
to the
can solve
candles.
your problem, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
tie it in
carpet cleaner.
We can help with the after effects. I don't know that I can help with your
I
kids
walk
shitting
in-
on the floor.
I
You
but,
can
you know.
segue into candles right after this.
Absolutely.
Walk into the living room and there's something what looks like maybe like a raisin bran muffin on the floor. But I know that we only have lemon poppy seed muffins. So
No.
yeah, and I get closer. I'm like, yeah, that's for sure Donni. And she's like, I'm just gonna run upstairs. And I'm like, you're not going anywhere right now. You are going to clean up this mess because I know it's a mess. It's shit. She starts cleaning up Elliot. I clean up.
It was a situation. I was trying to conserve diapers, actually, because I always pack, like, I always pack the wrong amount of diapers when I travel. And I'm always, like, one day short of how many I need. And then I have to buy, like, a whole pack for when I travel home. And it's so annoying because I already have, like, 14,000 pairs of shoes to pack to take home.
Because you've already ordered
I'm
20
bringing home
boxes
more than I
to
brought.
your
Let's
house.
just put it that way.
Yeah.
Which I'm still waiting for some that I haven't received and they need to come today.
Uh-oh.
Gotta check
So
the
anyways,
tracking
we
number.
clean it all up. Elliot gets cleaned all up. We get on with our day. And then all of a sudden, Donnie's like, there's an olive on the carpet. And I was like, She goes, do you think that's from the situation? I'm like, well, I haven't eaten olives this morning. And Elliot ate olives at dinner last night. So you tell me. Pick up the...
You're such a good roommate, though, because she just gets right in there.
I
Love.
don't.
Dirty.
I
Love.
have been
beyond
tidying
roommate.
up after you for the last 3 days. I don't mind.
I've been on the go.
I don't mind
Thank
at
you.
all. But like cleaning up tags and
Yeah.
So
So
how
how
do-
says traveling with me is the sound of tags snapping off of outfits. That's all it is. It's just like snap.
And
snap,
finding
snap,
the
snap.
end of like the little piece
Yeah.
that didn't quite make it to the trash can.
Constantly.
Yeah, I hate that.
Okay, so we can segue this into candles.
Yeah. So we've added a lot to the line. So we initially did like mugs, and then probably like our second most recent addition is candles. So a lot of what I like as a product is knowing that what we're doing isn't going to be going to waste. So there's so many candle vessels that you can't reuse, and like they just get thrown in the trash, and that's going to be in a landfill forever, and you can't do anything with it. And so when we did candles, I wanted to make sure that one, obviously it was on brand, but two, it was something that people could reuse. So all of our candles are actually poured into rocks glasses, and they're the rocks glasses that we also sell. But you can, once you're done burning them, they're super easy to clean because they're a coconut wax blend, and you can totally just turn them into a glass. So
But your
so
instructions
cool.
on here, which is like a little bit of a tip or fact, because
Yeah.
I didn't know this is how you get wax out of a container.
Yeah,
is
you can freeze it.
freeze it, and then you wash it.
Yep.
it says on
Oh,
it,
you
burn
freeze
me,
it.
freeze me, wash me, drink me.
Yep.
It's brilliant because there's
All the
such
candle dust
cute
covers say it.
container, like cute
They
glasses.
really are.
Thanks.
And they're like gold writing. They're beautiful. Like you definitely would not want to get rid of it after the candles burn.
No.
Oh.
That's
Which one's
Katie's
that?
favorite.
Birchwood and bergamot.
Oh, our welcome to the
Katie-
shit show candle. It's a perfect bathroom candle, obviously.
Katie
No, this
was
is
obsessed
like what
with
I
that
want
on-
my house to smell like.
Oh, good. I scent test for all of them. It's a really interesting process because you're smelling things for like an hour or two, and then it totally messes with your palate. Like I tried to drink wine that night, and I was like, nope, can't do it.
No,
It
you're
tastes
just gonna
super
go
weird.
straight to vodka. At
Just
that point.
straight vodka. at
This
that
one
point,
hot
for
mama is
sure.
grapefruit acai, and that's like my perfect scent.
That smells amazing. This is
so
what I
good.
want.
How many scents do you have?
We probably range about 9 to 10 cents right now. We have about 17 different candles. So, yeah, I love our candles. They're awesome. They burn really clean. They're like a 60 to 65 hour burn time because coconut wax burns low and slow because it's not as high. The temperature doesn't get as hot as soy does.
That's the one thing I noticed. I was living in a very small apartment at one point, and I had cheaper candles, and I'd burned one all day, and I
Yeah.
woke up in the morning and I blew my nose, and there was black boogers coming out.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
my daughter did the same thing, and I was like, that's it, threw them
It's a
all
dirty
out. I
candle.
will not buy anything that is not a clean burn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I don't care if it's twice as expensive. I will not burn a toxic candle in my house.
I totally agree.
I burned a remember when I was living in the coach house? So I burned like,
Yeah.
sorry to say it, Bed Bath & Beyond candle
Yeah.
all day, and I woke up in the morning, and when I blew my nose, it was like black boogers coming out.
People don't realize what candles are doing to your air.
Yep.
Obviously a very small space, but
Yeah, but that's not even the point. Even if you have a big space, you're still breathing in all the air.
It's still the
that's coming
fragrance
off of
itself. So like if a fragrance hits a certain temperature threshold, it becomes a carcinogen. Like when because it turns into smoke. It's not healthy. You don't want to breathe that in. So that's the great thing about coconut, because the coconut wax is that it burns really slow. And so it's a great carrier for fragrance too. Like, I wish you guys could smell through the microphone right now, but
we're dying. Like, we're sharing secret looks and passing these candles around. They're phenomenal.
But this is like maybe a misconception. Like, you could be blinded by like the really flashy sayings, right? Because
totally.
It's so
for sure.
People always ask me,
expect like a quality product.
Exactly. But everything we do, like I'm super psycho about it. Like everything we do, I am like, it's something that I would either use for my life or that I would give as a gift to someone. I will never put a product on the market that I do not firmly stand behind the quality of it and know where it's coming from. Like I need to know all of those things. I need to know that it's going to be a safe product to use, that people are going to enjoy it, and it's something that I would use myself. So it's super, they're great. I love our candles. They're amazing. And they're great gifts too. They're like, and the price point's a little bit higher sometimes, and people are like, oh, why is it so expensive? And it's like, because it's a quality candle.
What are these range at?
And they wholesale at $17, so on our website they're about $40 on our website.
That's fair.
But they're great because you're getting a glass afterward. You can use it as a jar. There's a bunch of different things you could use for it.
Can we talk about how your mugs are stackable and what a space saver
dying.
that is?
I'm dying.
Yep.
I'm obsessed.
And also how you nailed the perfect mug for me.
Which one is that?
Let me read it.
HBIC, head bitch in charge.
Yeah, girl.
right.
That's mine too. It's on my business card.
Breakfast wine. I just super zoomed it. And like, seriously, I think it's freaking brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love the stackability of them. Not only thinking from the retail buying perspective, because we look at a lot of accessories and mugs, and we've done mugs before, but they are so hard to display from a sales perspective.
Absolutely.
Also, my cupboard.
Yes.
My cupboard is like, I don't buy a set of mugs ever, but I buy one-offs that just speak to me.
Of course.
That's what mugs are supposed to be. Like,
I don't have
and
a
you
set.
kind of grab which one your mood is, and it just
All
starts
the
your
time.
day out.
And
You're
then
like,
your cabinet's always overflowing.
Every morning, Dan has coffee from Babes Supporting Babes.
I love it.
I'm not making this up. He grabs that for
I
his
love
coffee.
Dan. That's so sweet.
He grabs it every morning, but like, these are so
Could
cute.
use a get shit done one.
Yes.
You know? Maybe what shall I fuck with today? That's
Yes.
a solid choice.
I wanna
Yes.
and then you should have one that goes with it. This is like, don't fuck with me.
Yeah. It's a
That would be a cute husband.
Cute husband, right? What shall I fuck with today? Don't fuck with
me.
me.
It's gonna be good. I like it. New product.
We're
info.
collabing.
These are so good.
And then you're like, I'm still gonna fuck with you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because we're married.
Forgot to order the groceries.
That's when you leave the card on the seat of his car. It's like, still gonna fuck with you.
These are the kind of cards I can get behind. I can't get behind traditional basic cards. Like, I just like don't want to be a sheep. I hate conventions. I don't like doing things because I'm supposed to. And sometimes I feel like cards and gifts are exactly when, like, I'd rather giving a gift or doing something when it's unexpected.
Yeah, and every so often you want like that deep intentional card, but even then you can't find the right one, so you might as well just write it in your words.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Well, how many times have I gone to like a birthday party or something? I'm like, no card, and they're like,
I do verbal cards.
that's what the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I was like,
verbal
I'm gonna
card
sit
right
here
now
in
on the
front of
spot.
everybody and tell you why I love you.
Yeah.
And how I feel.
And how I feel right now. And it's like funnier and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these cards just capture that.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's great because you're the thing about grocery store cards or Target cards or whatever. You're still paying $6 or $7 for a card.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not supporting like a small independent maker. So the great thing about, you know, if you buying like, especially generally letterpress cards, like, you know, someone's actually making those.
Yeah.
They're not being done in
I have a
China.
respect for letterpress now, let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
so
that
glad you
changed my
taught me
perception.
and our listeners, because I didn't know that.
I
at
thought
all.
it was just printed. I had no idea.
Yep.
And the fact that you still enjoy that process, you're not
very
just
cool.
like, oh, this is cool. Okay, I'm going to go run the business.
Right.
You still want to be hands-on. I love that.
Yeah, there's still, obviously, it's interesting as any business grows, like, you become, especially a creative business, it becomes a lot less of what you do, but
Yeah.
that almost makes it more special, because when you do get to participate in that portion, it's
Yeah.
really fun and it's very intentional, and
Yeah.
you kind of get to enjoy it a little bit more. But
Yeah.
you know, when I started, creative was definitely like
That was it.
75% of the process, and now it's like
Oh, I can imagine.
3, but I still love that 3%.
Yeah, but it's really
But you're there,
sad.
it is.
It's really sad when like an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
entrepreneur
Yeah.
who is a creative mind doesn't get to really do that and nurture that
Yeah.
as a company grows.
It is hard because you're trying to bootstrap it too. You know, we don't have funding. This is totally self-funded, and our success is nothing short of just a lot of hustle and hard work. And so you kind of have to sacrifice like what you really love about it sometimes in order to kind of keep the business going.
Agreed.
So,
Well, I mean, payroll's got to get done.
yeah, I mean, people got to get paid. We got to sleeve cards. We got to get our orders out. It's a
Bitches
lot.
gotta
Like, I'm
eat.
still packing out orders. Like
Yeah.
So February has been the largest grossing month we have ever had in business.
Wow.
This last February?
Wow.
Thank
Congratulations.
you
This
so
month.
much. It's amazing.
Wow.
We've done more this month than we did, like, not quite double what we did last year, but our business has grown dramatically.
That's amazing.
And so, it's a lot of work, but it's really fun, and you know, we're hustling every day, and I'm still packing out orders like when I can.
Every day I'm
and,
hustling.
yeah, girl. But
That
you
is
know,
the
because
theme.
you guys go to trade shows too. Like we did
Yeah.
6 trade shows in 6 weeks this year.
Whoa.
That's a
So
lot.
in a row.
Whoa.
And I just bought a house. Like my husband and I bought a house. We moved in December 30th. I left January 5th for Atlanta, and I had been home 4 days until mid-February.
I feel like I'm
Wow.
relating a lot
Yeah.
because I moved 2 months ago, and my closet, I still live out of a suitcase.
Oh, my rolling racks are in our garage
Yeah.
because we're in the front guest bedroom of our house because our master is gutted to the studs right
It's
now.
so
no.
glamorous, right?
It's
like
super
the life
sexy.
of an
We have
entrepreneur.
one mirror in our house right now. One. So I don't know what I look like sometimes when I go to work.
you imagine
Thank God
having
for
a-
athleisure. I mean,
A house without mirrors, though?
I don't, you know, there's the teeth thing. You got stuff in your teeth. You don't know.
It's a concern. I don't have a full length mirror yet, and it really gets to me.
That's all we
I'm
got.
guessing when I put shoes on.
I know. Do you ever like stand on the bathtub to get the outfit picture because you like?
I
don't know
normally
what your
just
outfit
look
looks like?
down. I'm like, this is fine.
No one else does that. No one else has done that.
I have done that, yes. Like if I'm putting like a nice outfit
Yeah.
together, but for work, I look down. I'm like, I think it looks fine.
I've thought about it. I'm like, this could be bad because like I'm wearing heels and I could fall and hit my head. Next thing you know, someone's gonna find me like dead in the tub,
Bleeding out.
And what was I doing?
This took a dark turn.
Anyways,
That got
So
shady.
let's make it happy.
Then I'd have
Alex,
3 children.
Yeah. Then
4.
Katie has kids. More. Alex, can you share with us maybe a piece of advice or a mantra that you're living your life by?
Yeah. I think for me, it's even in my high school yearbook, it literally said, just do it. And that's kind of just how I live
No.
for real. I really think that if you just want to do something, it's better just to start moving in that direction instead of, I'm not someone to like sit and ponder something for a really long time and think about it. I think taking action and just putting one foot in front of the other is really a great way to get started in doing anything.
Just
Like,
dive in.
Just dive in. Just
that is so
jump.
funny that was your
That's good.
yearbook quote. Like
I
I
like it.
live by that. I just relate to that a lot, and sometimes I give myself a hard time about that. And I'm like, oh, I should be more prepared or do this, but like that's my personality to
Yeah.
just like jump head
you
first.
just accept it
Just jump and grow wings as you're falling.
as you're
you would-
rapidly falling towards the
Yeah.
ground. It's
I love
great.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like brilliant.
Yeah, it is. Besides shortly in our stores and on our website, where can everyone find you online? Did you see that? Did you see that plug, you guys?
that.
Yeah.
Did you see what
You're
I did there?
welcome.
You can find us at ChezGagné.com, and we sell in about 1,500 retailers across the U.S. and in Canada.
Whoa.
Yep, 1,500. I know.
Good
Actively,
job.
it's great. It's awesome. And then we sell in paper stores. We sell paper.
How
plates
many
at
of
the
them
Container
know
Store.
that it's Chez Gagné and not Chez Gagné?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh God, guys.
We're Canadian, so we know French.
You
Shay.
can actually speak French and know that my name is not Chez Gagné, which we get
true.
all the time. And people think my name is Chez a lot.
That's like a fun, like drunken name.
Yeah.
Like it's Chez.
Your
here.
alter
My
ego is
employees
Chez.
definitely randomly will just be like, hey, Chez, and it cracks me up every time. So it's great. It's really fun. But the name came from my family growing up. We called my house Chez Gagné. And
Oh, cute.
basically the line is shit we say to each other. So it just seemed appropriate that we called it that. And
How did
that's
we
kinda-
not get into this story?
That's how Chez
sooner?
I
Gagné
love
was
it. I'm glad
born.
we covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
great.
Okay, well, everybody go follow Chez Gagné or Chez Gagné.
I mean, you're gonna find them better on Instagram.
Both
if you
of them are
type in
there.
Chez Gagné.
Absolutely.
And head over and follow us also at Style for the PRIV and at PRIV Talks Podcast. You can subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and leave us a lovely review on wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can
Spotify, iTunes.
all of the above.
We have that contest going on where if you leave us a review, I was almost
Do we
gonna say-
still have it going on by the time this comes out?
I think yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do that.
And we will send you a pop socket. No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, it's only happening. That may not be happening anymore.
Okay, that's not happening anyways. Leave us a review anyways. People are like, If you leave us a review on this one, because I said it, we will send you a pop socket. How about that?
How about we'll send you a Chez Gagné card?
Woo! Oh, hey. Even better.
Oh my God, imagine we get like 1 million reviews from
It's a
that.
shitload of cards, but we'll take it on.
You know what? I'll fly down here and help you press them because I'm super interested in it.
Part of the review, you have to say Alex or Chez is the boss.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Yes. I need that affirmation in my life.
Yeah, I mean, why not put it right on iTunes? It's going to be great.
Chez Gagné is the boss.
So if you're a true fan, get with it. Get with the program.
Love it.
Love us and give us some affirmation.
Yes, exactly. And then you can also shop on our website, Getting Back to Business, with the code PRIV Talks for 20% off. And head over to our Facebook group, and we might share more tips about what cheese you should eat if you're lactose intolerant. And then you can not fact check us.
And you know what? We might be doing like a fun Chez Gagné giveaway.
Heck yeah.
We
on our
might give
Facebook
away
group.
something from Chez Gagné.
I think that is a very important thing.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do it.
I think we should do it.
And the candles are the best smelling candles I've smelt in a while. I haven't bought a candle in a while, and this is just fully being honest because I don't lie. I would
Fact check.
fact check me. I honestly, they're the best smelling candles. They're amazing.
They are really
Appreciate
good. She is the moral compass of this table, actually.
True fact.
guys.
So
I was in bed at
HBIC.
9:30. Can't you tell?
Yeah.
Love
Okay.
it.
Watching what, The Heart of Dixie?
Yes.
It's a good, Donnie, it's a good show.
Donnie's like dying laughing at me. It's
Yeah,
true.
okay. Anyways, love you all. This was a
Thanks for
wonderful
listening.
chat. I am so thrilled about this podcast, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you guys. I had so much fun. It was great.
Love meeting you.
Bye.
Bye.